What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the Litecoin Grayscale Trust and Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust today, LTCN and BCHG. These come to us at the request of N2 Jesus I969, Dialogue Kayaker, and yeah, that's it. All right, so looking at these, top to bottom, you're at your 786 right now, deep retracement. Broke through your 618 area on the second pass, which does leave room for the deep extension, or not the deep extensions, the expected extensions to be hit. I don't necessarily believe that you're going to go there right now. I do think that you will see a pullback relatively soon. If we take the relative fib for what it is, this high to low, I know in my last video I was talking about how we found resistance right here at the 1414, literally tipped it. But now we're right at the 1618. You know, if we were to continue up a little bit higher, that's okay. But I do still think that we're going to pull back a little bit. The prices that we were looking for a large amount of time now, not a lot, like a month and a half, might be off the table, right? I do think that we'll go lower than the current price. I think there will be opportunities to buy lower than this. But prices below this 382, below $8, they might not be possible anymore. It's very possible that those are off the table, and the reason for that is Bitcoin and the rest of crypto, guys. It's very, very bullish right now, doing some crazy bullish things. I haven't completely relinquished the idea that we could go below $8, even below $7 for LTCN. It is possible. If we look at Litecoin for what it's worth, LTC, USD. I mean, it's not really doing much. It's accumulating or consolidating. It to me does look like it wants to move lower. And if LTC was to move lower, it looks like a rejection off the overbought zone. I would expect LTCN to move lower as well. And that would put, LTCN USD, that would put prices below this 382 back on the table, below $8. But how much lower do we go? That's kind of a good question. We could, if we were to find a red day tomorrow, we could reject this overbought zone as well. Kind of rejecting the 069 area, which isn't common. It's common enough. It does happen, and that would be kind of your last line of resistance. We are at the 1618 area on this relative fib. We could hit the 1786 area with that relative fib as well. Hard to say. Hard to say, man. I do like the weekly RSI. I do think it looks nice, but it could go lower and still look nice. So rejecting this overbought zone would not be an ideal kind of scenario. If you want to see price grow, it would be an ideal scenario if you want to see it go down. Rejecting the overbought zone on the daily would also be an ideal scenario. So let's just see how tomorrow goes. Let's see how the week closes. At the moment, I am not necessarily anticipating prices to go above this. I wouldn't say that it's likely just yet. Closing above that 886, closing above $17.10 would make prices up here likely. Right now, I'd say it's a coin toss. Right, it's more likely now than it's been. The fact that you actually broke through your 61869 area is the reason why today my tone has changed a little bit. And it's changed a little bit over here, but I've definitely been calling for prices to go. I remember in my last video I was calling for prices to go lower still. But you know, you gotta be pivotal. You gotta be able to, you know, be fluid with the charts. You have to react to the charts. You can make all the predictions you want, but if you're proven wrong, you have to kind of know when to admit defeat. And personally speaking, I feel like I did a bad job at this one, because seeing this 382 find support down here, that should have been a telltale sign that we were going to go higher, at least to the 61869. And maybe I said that in my videos back there. I don't remember, but I definitely didn't expect that we'd go up this high. Right. To be fair, all the way back here, I did say we could move all the way up to like $16 again, $13, $16, and then pull back. We are kind of doing that now, but with how bullish crypto's looking, with how bullish Bitcoin is, it's hard to say. It's hard to be bearish right now, but I haven't seen enough to be bullish on this thing just yet. I've seen enough to be a little bit concerned, to kind of relinquish some of the price targets that I had, which were below $5, even below $6, but not so much relinquish the ones that are below $8 or $7. I know earlier in the video I said that those might not happen, and they might. They still might not happen. Prices below this low might not happen. We might come down, we might form a higher low and then move up. But again, I wouldn't say that finding prices lower than this are likely anymore, but I wouldn't say that finding prices above it are likely either. They're more like just both possibilities. I guess either or is likely, but I don't really know what else to say on that, man. So that's what I got for LTCN. I do think it turns around soon. It could go up more, and finding support on this or breaking through this 886 at $17.10 would lead me to believe that we're seeing these extensions come into play. That's kind of your last barrier. If you're looking to buy things lower, if you close a daily above $17.10, these areas become likely, like very, very likely. So watch for that. Watch for that. We are near that area, but we're not there yet. We could reject the 786, pull back still. Maybe we form a higher low on the 0.5 or the 618. Again, if in kind of turn with this, if we pull back to the 618 and then move up like that, then I would say these are likely as well, right? If you're looking for prices to go lower, like lower down here, you don't want to see this find support on the 618. And you don't want to see it break through this. Either way, if it does either of those things. And obviously if you find support here, you're probably going to break through that, but I'm talking about first and foremost. If you move up from here and you break through this, likely you will go here. If you move down from here, you could still have a likelihood of going up from here if you find support on the 618, right? So I hope that makes sense. If you guys I was about to say if you like the video, that's it, but we got to talk about BCHG as well. BCHG on the grayscale truss, it's moving up. I definitely wasn't expecting that it would move up this much today. Bitcoin Cash in itself, BCH is up a little bit. I mean, to me, I think it looks a little toppish. I do very much still expect prices to go down for BCH. I'm not too convinced yet that we're going to see prices move up, and that kind of reinforces my idea that BCHG could move lower still, and probably does move lower still. I do think that the minimum targets that we have laid out from this low to high at the 382 are still very much on the table. That is your weekly 123 moving average down there as well. Kind of an area that you found support in before, resistance down here in before, finding support at that like 170 to 180 area, it kind of makes sense to me. It definitely still does. On a daily basis, volume is building. You do have this high taken out. Let's just see real quick. What are you doing on a relative basis? High to low. You got your 1272. You could move up a little bit higher. You could move up even up to 470 and still turn around from there. Let's look at this. Let's see. High to low. And guys, if I'm stumbling on my words, I'm sorry. This is my last video. I'm really tired, man. I partied a little bit too hard last night. Not too hard, but it was a Super Bowl. Drank some sangria and some hard ciders. It was good. But we're at the 61869 area. Finding resistance here and then pulling back is not uncommon at all. Again, kind of with LTCN, pulling back and finding support here would not be ideal if you're looking for prices to go lower. If we did find support in this area, came back up to the 61869 area, we likely would break through. And then again, same kind of thing. You want to look for this 886 area being your kind of like last line of defense for the bears. If you close above $4.86 on this thing, likely, very likely, with a high degree of certainty, $6 to $7.50 is where you're going. And that's really all I have to say, man. The daily RSI, it doesn't look bad, but I'm not necessarily convinced that it's going up. Again, Bitcoin Cash in itself, like looking at that, that's kind of in line with these highs, right? Let's just see how it does. Let's see how this week closes out. Let's be patient, right? Patience almost always pays off, right? Even if things don't go according to plan, patience pays off. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, man. That's the truth of it. But at the moment, I do think that if we go up a little bit higher, that's okay. We still have lower prices to go, and I very much am expecting prices below $2 to still be on the table. So that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.